Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting Napoleonic Battle Report. Today we bring you a clash of epic proportions, where double the glory is at stake. Prepare yourself for the intense action of the battle of two objectives. In this engagement, both sides of the conflict are vying for control of not one, but two crucial objectives. It's a battle of wits and strategy, as Napoleon's forces face off against their formidable opponents. So let's see what happens. Initial deployment, the French have a regiment somewhere in this wooded hill. And they've got two regiments of infantry, artillery and two cavalry around the village. And then the Anglo-Allied force has Brunswick infantry conscripts in skirmish order, denoted by the gap, Scottish infantry, British line infantry in skirmish order, Nasurian infantry in skirmish order, and two regiments of cavalry to the right, with two artillery in the centre. Who do you want your artillery piece to fire at?
Left-hand gun.
Left-hand gun.
4.
Cool. So it's 2 points. I will return fire. Artillery on artillery. Doing 2.
Oh, you're going on artillery.
And the other gun is going to fire on the cuirassiers. And do 1.
Okay.
So at the end of turn 1, the French infantry have decided to vacate the hill. British forces have pushed forwards along the line, and the French are occupying the village. Allied artillery versus French artillery. That's 2 points. And then second gun will fire again. That's the artillery. And does 1 point. Four. Cool. And I will fire on artillery. 1, and artillery does 2. Are you going to shoot at this turn?
Your weakest artillery piece. 4 again.
4. Cool. And then allied counter battery fire. 3. And 4. So that's 3 points of damage. So gun 1 is firing at cuirassiers at close range, which is a D5 -1. So that's 3. Second gun is firing at the French artillery, short range, does 1. Okay, and skirmishers, firing on skirmishers is D5 -2 each, base. So we've got 2 and 1, so that's 3, -1 for the stone wall. Yeah, morale check for your artillery piece, needing 3 or less on 2 dice.
3 or less.
3 or less.
Cool.
Okay, he's rolled a 5, so he's definitely failed. So quick recap, turn 5. Both forces have kind of tiptoed around on this side. French cavalry behind the hedges, British just slowly moving up. And on this side of the field, the French skirmishers have got back to the stone wall, whilst the British forces are in hot pursuit, and French artillery pieces did rout from the field. Skirmishers versus skirmishers.
Mm-hmm.
3, so that's 1 point. And roll again for the second.
4.
So that's 2 points. So now the Scottish skirmishers will fire back. D5 minus 3. 1 and 2. Okay, so we've got artillery firing on cuirassiers. So D5 minus 2. So that's a 1. And then we've got the second artillery piece who's going to fire over. That's 1. Remember, they use half their move to turn. Interesting. Skirmishers versus, I guess, the Scottish skirmishers. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's D5 minus 3. So that's 1. And your second base.
2.
So 2 points. So Brunswick skirmishers and Scottish skirmishers will fire. D5 minus 3. So that's 1. 1. And 1. So that's 3 points. So both artillery pieces firing on cuirassiers. First at short range does 2 points of damage, and the second at long range does 1 point of damage. Scottish skirmishers firing into the village. It's going to be a D5 minus 3. Yeah. So 1 point of damage. Artillery on cuirassiers, long range, D5 minus 2, so that's 2. Mm-hmm. And short range is 3. This one is
2 and 3.
3. So at the end of turn 9, the French light infantry have fallen back into the woods and are somewhere in there. British skirmishers are heading towards the village, but also just skirting the woods to keep the French in there. The British cavalry have moved around. The cuirassiers were blasted again by artillery, broke and withdrew from the field. So it's still anyone's game. French units are in skirmish, as in they're occupying the village, so each base will get D5 minus 3, so 4 rolls. So that's 1,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Artillery piece onto cavalry is going to be D5 minus 3, so 1 point of damage, and then that artillery piece onto the guards in the village. There's 1 point of damage.
What do you want, 11?
Turn 11, shooting phase. So, if I do artillery first, against skirmishers, it's going to be long range against skirmishers, so that's going to be a D5 minus 2, sorry, minus 3.
And in the town? Is that a minus?
No, I'm firing at them.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, just D5 minus 3. So 1 point of damage on them. Second artillery piece firing on the cavalry in the town. Short range, that's just going to be D5 minus 3. So that's 1 point onto them. 1.
5.
So with time ticking, we only had 4 more turns, and with one of the British infantry regiments broken, it was real struggle at this point.